Well, for various reasons, I was thinking about the single parenting experience that I went through for years and years. And one of the things that I used to be able to do, so this is just some tips for people that might be experiencing the single parenting, or any mom or dad that basically likes to buy clothes for your kids, but doesn't always have the time or the ability or the energy to be able to take them with you and go through all of those changes and that sort of thing that they go through in the change rooms and so on. So one of the things that I used to do was do my grocery run quite late at night after my kids were down. My oldest one was watching them, and I would oftentimes shop at a place like a superstore that had both the groceries and also had a really great clothing department and so on. So I learned that if I kept my kids' measurements, not in traditional clothing sizes, but in inches, that I was able to basically buy replacement clothes or buy the next size up shoes or what have you from just having my kids' shoe sizes, pants sizes, shirt sizes, that sort of thing with me. And so one of the things I learned how to do is basically when I would be checking in with my kids to make sure that their shoes were fitting properly, or if they were looking like they were getting a little bit haggard and ready to be replaced, I would always have the current measurements of their shoes, but put in a tape measure inside the shoes from the tip of the toe to the back of the heel and measuring that in inches, because of course so many different companies make shoes, pants, shirts, and that sort of a thing. It was always really tough to be able to find off the rack clothing that fit kids exactly right, because a size 16 in pants for young kids is going to be different depending upon the company. And so I learned that by taking a tape measure with me, I could quite literally measure the inside of the shoes both in width, also from front to back, but I could also make sure that I was buying something with an arch and buying something that looked similar to what they were wearing currently. And I'd check in with my kids. If they're fitting well, then I could replace them with something the same size just from using the tape measure. And also with pants, one of the things that again, I don't know why clothing companies measure pants in sizes, and then all of a sudden they jump to inches when you get up into the 20-inch area. But basically, if you would button up a pair of pants and then hold them in the waist, you could measure the kid's waist here, or take the tape measure and measure from the back of the top by the belt loop there, and measure down to the crisscross in the crotch area on the pants. If that length was right, it meant that they were going to fit well on the back side. And then you could measure, of course, from the crisscross in the crotch down to the pant leg and make sure that the pant leg was okay. And you could also measure the legs by laying them flat. And so this might be pretty simple for many people, but when you arrive at a grocery store at 10:30 at night and you're faced with doing the every aisle scenario and making sure that the refrigerator is full, and you can slip into the clothing department and pick up clothes without having your kids have to go through the changing room and try on 6 or 8 or 10 different things, it really was a helpful thing for me for sure. So just wanted to share that as a tip. Keep your kids' measurements in inches on a piece of paper in your pocket or in your phone, and then you can give that a go, give it a try, see if it helps you out.